Hey guys. You know those stories that begin with silence, not the peaceful type, but the kind that makes your chest tighten because you know something big is coming. That's exactly how things started with Sonia and Maurice. No one shouted. No one made a scene. But fans noticed something growing between them. It wasn't loud. It wasn't rushed. It was quiet, but real. Every time they appeared together in a movie or event, their connection spoke volumes. It was in the way they looked at each other, how they stood close, how their smiles lingered. Fans started whispering. Then those whispers turned into full-blown conversations. People began digging up old clips, watching body language like detectives. And somehow, all signs pointed in the same direction. This wasn't just about acting anymore. There was care. There was softness. There was something else behind the scenes. Everyone now agrees this kind of chemistry doesn't come from scripts. Something personal is happening here, and even though Sonia and Maurice haven't said a word, their quiet closeness says more than enough. Have you ever noticed how a person changes when someone they care about is around other people? Like, no words need to be spoken, but you can feel the shift. That's exactly what fans began seeing with Maurice. Anytime Sonia is seen interacting with someone else, especially male colleagues, Maurice's vibe just shifts. It's not obvious to everyone, but to those watching closely, it's clear. The smile gets a little forced. His eyes follow her a bit more. There's this quiet tension in his body, like he's trying to act cool, but inside, something is moving. Fans didn't take long to pick up on it. They started saying maybe he has deeper feelings than he's ready to show. And the most interesting part: he never denies it. He never corrects anyone. That small jealousy that flashes through him sometimes, that quick glance, that tightening jaw, fans believe it's not acting. That's not something you can fake. And the more it happens, the more people believe Sonia means much more to Maurice than is letting on. Let me tell you, the day that engagement just dropped online, everything scattered. 1 minute everyone was just enjoying their regular scroll, and the next, boom, Pearl was trending with talk of a secret engagement. Comments flew in from every corner. Some people were celebrating, dropping hearts and warm wishes, saying she deserved all the love. But others, they were not smiling at all. They questioned everything. They said it felt like a stunt, like maybe she wanted attention. And because nothing was officially confirmed at first, it made things worse. The confusion grew so quickly. One person's congratulations became another person's complaint. It was like the entire fan base split right down the middle. Group chats were full. Comment sections turned into arguments. Even neutral fans who just wanted peace found themselves picking sides. And the worst part: nobody knew what was true. That single moment changed the entire energy online. What started as a small surprise became a big storm. Now, here's where things became even more intense. Right when fans needed answers the most, Maurice just disappeared from social media. No new photos. No new videos. Not even a story update. It was like he pressed pause on everything and just vanished into thin air. And that silence, it didn't help. In fact, it made things worse. People were waiting to hear from him, hoping he would explain what was really going on. But nothing came. That long silence created space for wild guesses. Some said he was feeling hurt. Others said he was planning a big reveal. But nobody knew for sure. The mystery grew deeper every day. Fans kept checking his page, refreshing his profile, waiting for just one post, one word, but it never came. And because of that, more people became convinced that something serious was happening behind the scenes. That silence felt like he was hiding the truth. It was like watching a movie that suddenly paused right at the climax. Everyone was holding their breath. Just when people had almost given up on hearing anything, Maurice finally broke the silence, and the way he did it, so calm, so casual, like it was no big deal. He simply came out and said it, the engagement story. Just a joke. That's all. No long message. No deep explanation. Just a straight-up clarification. And that one line changed everything. It was like someone poured cold water on a fire. Fans who had been arguing paused. Those who had been celebrating became quiet. Even those who had been attacking Pearl started to soften. Everything began to slow down. People were still confused, yes, but at least there was some kind of answer now. And that answer shifted the direction of all the conversations online. Instead of focusing on what was true, fans now turned to why and how. Why the joke? How did it go so far? But no matter the questions, one thing was certain: Maurice's words cooled the storm. Behind all that online drama, one person was carrying the weight of the pressure, and that was Pearl. The moment the engagement gist broke out, all eyes turned to her. And not all of them were kind. People began commenting harsh things about her appearance, her silence, her choices. Some were even mocking her without mercy. She didn't respond. She didn't post anything. But the silence didn't protect her. Instead, it made her a target. Day after day, more people shared their thoughts, throwing shade, questioning her intentions. And even though she stayed calm in public, you could just imagine how heavy all that must have felt. No one should be under that kind of pressure. Especially when you're not even saying anything. Her silence became its own story. People wanted answers she wasn't ready to give. And the longer she stayed quiet, the louder the criticism became. It wasn't fair, but it was very real. And fans could see it. After everything exploded and Maurice finally gave his side, Pearl did something unexpected. She just vanished from the topic completely. No post. No comment. No follow-up. Nothing. She went completely silent on the matter. And now, people are reading into that silence too. Some are saying she's protecting her peace. Others believe she was deeply affected and just wants to move on quietly. But whatever the reason, it's making fans more curious. Her silence is not being ignored. Instead, it's creating more mystery. Everyone's wondering, why isn't she saying anything? Is she trying to avoid adding more fuel? Or is there something more that she doesn't want to share yet? That quiet decision not to speak is now the loudest move she's made. And for those who have been watching closely, it's another piece of the puzzle. A missing voice that says a lot, even without words. The silence has become part of the story itself. Do you know how sometimes a story feels too dramatic to be real? That's how this engagement gist started looking after a while. People started asking, how did it all begin? Was it a joke that went too far? Or was it something else entirely? Because from the outside, it felt like one moment everything was calm, and the next, everyone was talking about rings and weddings. And with Sonia and Maurice already building quiet chemistry in the background, some fans began thinking maybe this entire situation was a distraction. A smokescreen, even. Something to pull attention in another direction. It's a theory that's now growing among fans. Not everyone agrees, of course, but the timing, the reactions, the silence, it all feels like more than coincidence. There are fans who believe that while everyone was looking at Pearl, the real story was quietly happening somewhere else. It's still a mystery, but one thing is clear: this wasn't just random noise. Something deeper was unfolding behind the scenes. One thing that fans keep coming back to is Maurice's reactions around Sonia. And not just during acting moments. They're paying attention to how he behaves when the cameras aren't rolling, when it's not a scene. There's something soft in the way he watches her. Something quiet in how he listens when she talks. It doesn't feel scripted. It feels genuine. And you know what they say, you can't fake that kind of presence. That's the kind of care that doesn't need words. And even though neither of them has said anything official, those moments say more than enough. Fans have started collecting those little clips, playing them over and over, analyzing every smile, every glance. And they keep saying the same thing: whatever is going on, it feels real. It feels honest. Even the silence between them feels intentional. It's like they're letting the moment speak instead of statements. And fans are paying attention to every single one. So after all the noise, one big question is still in the air: what is really going on between Sonia and Maurice? Because no matter how much time passes, fans haven't forgotten. Their bond feels too strong, too natural, too consistent to be nothing. People are still waiting for the next post, the next interview, the next accidental moment that reveals more than they meant to share. And until then, the guessing will continue. The watching will continue. And fans, they'll keep connecting the dots. Because this doesn't feel like something that's going away. It feels like something that's still unfolding quietly, behind the scenes. And the day it finally comes out, whatever the truth may be, the internet will light up all over again. So guys, thanks for listening and have a wonderful day.